What's good, y'all? It's your boy Nino. Welcome back to the podcast. And if you're new to the podcast, go ahead and beat that like button up and show your boy some love to help out with that YouTube algorithm. And be sure to hit that subscribe button so you'll never miss an episode of In the Know with Nino. And today's show, once again, is sponsored by Loudberries Clothing. On sale now at loudberries.com for the 420 clothing enthusiasts. And Orsby Investments LLC trying to make $1 out of 15 cents. And today's intro song is With Joe by Canisto Pterodon of the Gov, my Wild Hunters people. And if you would like to have your music featured on an episode of In the Know with Nino, submit your music to my email at ninoincognito@gmail.com. I give it a listen, and if it's on point, I show us some love. Now let's get on with the show. What's good, y'all? It's your boy Nino. Welcome back to the podcast, episode number 6. I'm telling you, it's been a past. This 2020 and all, it's just been a crazy year. You know that. But just in this past week alone, I'm telling you, I've heard some of the craziest stuff fly out of people's mouths, posted on social media, and it's just getting crazier and crazier by the day. But first and foremost, I do want to say big ups to my brother Vic. He sent my youngest boy Isaiah a pair, sound canceling out headphones and everything. That was pretty good. That was pretty good. He was really enjoying them. He has autism and everything. Real sound sensitive. So having those noise canceling headphones where he's not like disturbed by the outside noise. I usually, I had let him use mine at first. But he has his own set now. So thanks once again, big bruh, for hooking your nephew up with those headphones. But it's been a crazy just past couple of weeks, especially in in the stock market. It's just in health wise. I had to get some teeth replaced back here. I'm still getting used to wearing my little prosthetic that I have in my mouth, if you can't tell, in the speech pattern, but I'm still getting used to wearing that. I had to get me some fake teeth put in and everything growing up. That's how you know you're getting old, when you look over at the side of the man and you see your teeth. See your teeth sitting there, boy, but it's been crazy. Oh, and I was mowing the grass earlier today. Called myself, trying to make the lawnmower work a little bit better, which it did. I mean, you put a little bungee cord, a little stretch over the exhaust port, the grass exhaust area to hold that flap open, because the guard that was already there had got ran over and got trampled. So I put a little stretchy band on, and man, it was shooting grass out. The grass was almost 6 inches tall, but it was having no problem shooting it out because it was getting stuck and clogged in there, especially with the wet grass. Put the stretch on there, opened up the vent. Oh, it opened up beautifully. Grass was just shooting out like it was no problem, until I turned around and saw my wife waving at me frantically from the backyard, like, Nino. So I'm looking like I took the headphones up. Those noise canceling headphones, they really, they really work. So I, looked over at my wife, and she's like, "You broke the window." I'm like, "I broke the window? Broke what window?" "The bedroom window." So I look over at the, rock-sized hole. I guess the pebble got caught out of that exhaust and shot right over at the window and poked a little hole. So that's going to be the second window that I got to get. So I really need that unemployment to kick back in and that stimulus to kick back in, because man, oh man, it's getting crazy around here, But, on the side note, today's topic really is just, it's about learning how not to convince people of stuff. And what I mean by that, this was a lesson that I had to learn about not trying to convince people about, how I see things, my point of view and all that kind of stuff. Because me being a problem solver, by nature, being kind of a logically minded kind of person, I always have it in the back of my head that maybe I'm just, I'm a communications major. Got a bachelor's degree, radio and television from the University of Southern Indiana. I've always been, the talkative, want to explain, and that's kind of been my plus and minus. Everything that, that's a plus also has its fault. And my fault is that I was always trying to convince people of stuff. Convince people of, oh, why are you thinking, no, that's not the way it's supposed to be. But now I've learned, over the years, especially in 2020, trying to convince people of anything that they don't want to be convinced by is just a waste of your breath. And I don't care if you're talking about the sky is red, the earth is flat, Donald Trump is a great president, whatever you want to say. You're right. I'm not even going to try to convince you anymore. I will state my opinion. I'm not saying don't state your opinion. If someone asks you your opinion, if you're engaging in a, constructive conversation with somebody, of course, you're allowed to have your opinion, express your opinion, state your opinion, things like that. But don't express it in the way to where you're trying to convince somebody of your opinion. And that's what I had to learn. I was what they would call the argumentative type. Not in a way where I'm just trying to, start an argument with you and come back and forth, but actually the engagement of ideas. So, okay, let me hear your side, why you think that you think the way you think. And now I'm going to hit you in my side and let you know why I think the way I think. And maybe we can come to some kind of consensus, about, what the real, and maybe if it's not, hey, we just don't agree to disagree. And that's what the part I had a problem with, the agree to disagree. And I had to learn, you got to let people think what they going to think. You right. The sky is red. To you, Donald Trump just might be a good president. To you, there might not even be a problem with police brutality in America. You know what I mean? Because the system, like I say, the system is the system is not broken. It's working just fine. It's doing exactly what it's supposed to do. But I don't think people really know what the system is supposed to do. But then they're trying to convince people, that why they should or shouldn't vote for Donald Trump, or why they should or shouldn't vote for Joe Biden, why they should or shouldn't smoke this, or why they should or shouldn't eat that. It's a waste of time. Why they should or should not be racist. It's a waste of time. Just like I don't even believe, there's no such thing to me as an undecided voter. There's no such thing as an undecided voter. You already know who you're going to vote for when that election starts. Just like when it was Hillary and Donald Trump out there, people already knew who they were going to vote for when it came between Hillary and Donald Trump. Whether you liked Hillary, didn't like Hillary, whether you liked Donald Trump, didn't like Donald Trump, you knew everything about them that you needed to know at that time of election. You knew everything about Hillary through Bill Clinton, and she's been in the White House and been Secretary of State in New York, been a lawyer. If you didn't know about Hillary Clinton before that time and you still was undecided at the time of that election, you're just gullible. You're living under a rock somewhere. If you didn't know about Donald Trump and all of his failed businesses, all of his fake college diplomas, all of his bankruptcies and lawsuits and all of his, if you didn't know, it's just the fact that he was on TV. He tried to patent the phrase, "you're fired." He tried to trademark that and charge people for using it. If that didn't tell you how much of an egomaniac this guy did, if you didn't know about Donald Trump before, I'm not even trying to convince you right now. And I can't believe that there's still people that are trying to convince other people about what they think about Donald Trump. And I don't care what side of the coin you're on. If you're a pro-Trump, anti-Trumper, don't give a fuck Trumper, whatever you want to call yourself. Don't be trying to convince nobody about what they should be thinking or why they should be voting or why they shouldn't be racist. If somebody said that they're an undecided voter, they're lying. They just don't want to tell you who they're voting for. Just like it was a whole bunch of people who were saying that they were undecided when it came to the vote between Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump. You wasn't undecided. You were just ashamed that you wanted to vote for Donald Trump and you didn't want nobody making fun of you because you just didn't like Hillary for whatever reason. Whether you bought into the Russian email hack scandal, whether you believed all of the stuff that Donald was saying about, whether you just didn't like her from the way she behaved or way she acted when Bill went through his little, hot pants phase. Maybe you were one of those people that said Hillary should have left him, divorced him, all that kind of stuff, and you didn't like her because she stayed with him. Whatever your excuse may be, when it came up to that time for voting for Donald Trump or Hillary Clinton, you knew who you were going to vote for. You voted for the people who put them in place because, let's face it, the Electoral College elects the president. I want to do a podcast on what the Electoral College is and do we still really need that? But I'm going to save that for another podcast. But the president is elected by the Electoral College, a separate set of people who are appointed by the other lower people that we elect, like the governors, the senators, the commission, all that kind of stuff. There's an elector that represents all 537 segments of our representatives. I think it's like 435 in the House of Representatives, and it's 100 in the Senate, and like 2 for DC, something like that. So it's like 535 electorates that are selected to elect the president. And if you don't like the way the electorate is electing the president, you have to vote for those people underneath. You have to vote for the governors. You have to vote for the senators. You have to vote for the mayors and all that kind of stuff. Waiting until the president gets up there and say, okay, now we're just going to vote. We're going to get the president, and he's going to take care of things from the top down. No, that's not how the government works. It's the pyramid. You ever wonder why we have the pyramid on the back of the dollar bill? It doesn't, it works from the bottom up. You don't realize the pyramid is strongest at its base. And we as a people forget that we, the people, have the power. So you can't wait till the presidential election to try to, vote for the president, think he's just going to come in and say, well, I can't imagine how many, you can't imagine how many people, would thought that Barack Obama was just going to come in and wave a magic wand and all that kind of good stuff and just make everything okay for black people all over. Are you serious? You really thought that was going to happen? No. But he was a good president. He gave a good try. He didn't let the country go to hell in a handbasket. But like I say, I'm not trying to convince you. You know exactly what Donald Trump is about. You know exactly what Joe Biden is about. You know exactly what Hillary Clinton is about. And if you voted for him, if you voted for Donald Trump, you agree with him. You might be a little bit racist. I don't care what kind of financials you're trying to put back, it was for the economy, we're trying to protect our borders. No. All of that stuff was based on playing the racist card. Trying to keep the Mexicans out, trying to keep the Arabs out, trying to keep all you have to do is give them somebody to hate, somebody else to hate. And they emptied their pockets, just like Lyndon B. Johnson said. You give the poorest white man a reason to hate, somebody to hate, and he'll empty his pockets for you. And I don't understand that. I don't understand. But when it comes down to, that's why I said in another podcast before, don't delete your racist friends on Facebook, but don't be on there trying to engage them in stupid conversations either. Who's the bigger fool? The fool or the fool that argues with them? Think about that. You're not going to change their mind. They know why they voted for Donald Trump. They know why they like Mitch McConnell. They know why they like Mike Pence. They know why they got something to say every time somebody says Black Lives Matter. They respond with Blue Lives Matter or All Lives Matter. You know why. So when you hear somebody say something crazy on Facebook or in response to you posting something, calling yourself posting something kind of woke, maybe trying to spread some knowledge, and you see somebody post or reply something stupid, resist that urge to reply back to them like, how dare you think that? Don't even respond. This why, yeah, you're right. And because the hardest way to lose somebody is to try to convince them. The harder you push, the more they gonna push back. But that's my little rant for today. If you got some of them racist friends, or you got some of them crazy friends out there that's posting crazy stuff on Facebook with way out opinions, conspiracy theories, flat earthers, Trump supporters, all kind of good stuff that's making excuses to avoid using their common sense, just let it play out, because eventually they're going to cut their own nose off to spite their face. But that'll do it for today's podcast. Be sure to hit that like and subscribe button to show your boys some love. And if you'd like to have your music featured on the podcast, be sure to hit me in my email at ninoincognito@gmail.com. Once again, thanks to my guy, Mod Harris, CEO of Loudberries Clothing, loudberries.com. Check out all the 420 clothing and for the 420 clothing enthusiasts at loudberries.com. And thanks to my brother, Vic, for sending those headphones out for your nephew. He really enjoys them. That'll do it for me, y'all. I'll catch y'all on the next podcast. Peace.
Right around town, I clown with your bitch. I'm in the streets with your bitch. I keep that heat with your bitch. I'm in the sheets with your bitch. Nigga sweet with your bitch. I'm in the club with your bitch. I'm poppin' bud with your bitch. I'm in the tub with your bitch. Holy above with your bitch. I'm in the lane with your bitch. I'm in the rain with your bitch. I'm getting changed with your bitch. And I'm getting brains for your bitch. Right around town, I clown with your bitch. Right around town, I clown with your bitch. Right around town, I clown with your